Yes. Y'all come. Hey, Rocky, y'all come on over here. Come over here to YouTube. Hop over here. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, my great peoples? Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, motivational speaker, confidence coach, business coach. And y'all know what we do over here. We talk about growth, we talk about resiliency, entrepreneurship journey, just everything as long as we're growing, right? And so I'm so excited. I'm gonna tell you why, because this is my first time doing the live stream on YouTube. So bear with me, okay? I'm on StreamYard, so please bear with me. I got TikTok over here that's live behind the scenes. But hey guys, for those on TikTok, if y'all want to hop over to YouTube, it's fine. If not, just stay on over there, okay? Thank you for the gift, boo. So I don't even know where the comments are at because again, I'm on StreamYard. So thank you once again. And before we get started, listen, if you are on the audio side, please hop over to the YouTube channel so you can catch the video version of this episode. Just know your likes, your comments, and your shares are priceless to me. I thank y'all in advance. And so I'm excited. Why? Because a couple things. One, I'm stepping out my comfort zone and recording this episode live, like live. Like normally when I'm recording, I have the chance to record, go back, pull out filler words like my ums or things that sound redundant, or I just have the opportunity to take out what I don't want to use. So y'all catching me live time. And so you will, if you're a part of the replay gang, when you get this and see this, please put in the comments replay gang. So that way I know that you watch this after the live. And got a comment. Hey, okay, CC. We got CC over here. We got Rocky over there. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Listen, I always tell y'all know about me. I'm the type of person I will try some things first. And even though the nerves, because I ain't gonna lie, the anxiety of it all, of doing something different out your comfort zone. Because I was like, I don't know about this thing going live. Like, what if my Ring doorbell goes off or whatever? But we here now. So again, thank you for joining me. Today is gonna be different, not because we're live, but because this episode number 61, by the way. You so silly. Yes, and listen, that part, CC. But so today is special to me because it's a couple things. Well, y'all already know every year, I have my birthday edition. Like last year, I did the birthday edition. Tomorrow, May 31st, is my official birthday. Birthdays, it's another. I feel like every day is a birthday. Every day that you wake up, you celebrate your birthday. That's how I look at it. But yes, it's the year. I'm going into chapter 47. Ah, chapter 47. People be saying you don't look your age. Well, thank you. Pre what the young generation do. Clock that T, right? But no, it just amazed me, the journey. So going into chapter 47 tomorrow, today is a reflection day. And I'm just like, man. So today I am talking about, oh, thank you, Miss Gloria. Appreciate the happy birthday, love. And you know what? Real quick, because this is live, I ain't gonna lie. I know some people go live and they just kind of ignore the chats and stuff, but if I see love being dropped in the chat, I'm gonna give y'all love. So, and YouTube, TikTok, thank y'all for Rocky from Jersey. I appreciate you, boo. So I got TikTok over here too. But anyway, so today I want to talk about how I finally became convicted to letting go. Right? Y'all know the channel, Convicted to Grow podcast. I don't have it on today, but, right? I got the merch, Convicted to Grow shirts, right? Um, Convicted to Grow coaching. That's my business. That's my baby. You guys have watched me birth that thing, show love to it, and it's still growing. It's still in its infancy state. But I said, you know what? For my birthday edition, I want a couple things I'm going to do. So make sure you stick around towards the end. And I ain't going to be with you long. Like the pastor say at the church, I ain't gonna be with y'all long because time is everything. But I wanted to talk about this whole experience of what it truly meant for me to be convicted to let go, right? And just so I can stay on track, because guess what? I am a Gemini, okay? And yes, I can tend to be all over the place. So I said, let me have a structured bullet so I can stay on track with the thing. And but I wanted to talk about what major things have transpired for me in these last pretty much 3 years of my conviction moment, and what it took for me to rebuild again, and what it took for me to rise. Like, and I'm still growing. I'm not there yet. I'm nowhere near where I need to be, right? But thank God I'm not where I used to be. It has taken some time. No. You got people requesting me. I'm gonna have to ignore y'all a little bit over there TikTok so I won't get distracted. But if y'all want to join me, come over here to YouTube at Convicted to Grow. Appreciate y'all. So I wanted to talk about just kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said, I'm still growing, I'm still evolving. But I'm nowhere where I used to be. And this Convicted to Grow movement, the brand, the moment, it's it's everything. Um, and I'm gonna take you guys back. Some of you guys know the story, but I'm only gonna give you certain parts. Hey, Miss Felicia, how you doing, love? We got Dependable Angel Services in the house. I only want to give you guys certain parts, and I need to figure out how to make some of y'all moderators, because that way y'all can control the chat. Cause right now, yeah. Uh Feel free, for those who just came over here, go back to some of my earlier podcast episodes. I mean, all the way down to one. We birthed Convicted to Grow podcast on 2/24/24. So it's been over a year. And it's one nothing but the grace of God that has carried me thus far, with the consistency, with really truly showing up for you guys. I made it a commitment to show up every week. Now, this year have not been, I missed a few weeks because I've just been busy with other things. But I said, you know what? I understand that importance of the growth and the consistency, and put myself out there to you guys. This is my accountability. Believe it or not, you guys are my accountability partner. Um, so I'll take you back of how this really truly got birthed without giving too much information, because you can go back and look. But for those who don't know, yes, I'm a speaker and a coach, but prior to that, I was this professional, corporate professional, making good money. Do you hear me? Some good money. I was the president of talent acquisition, serving the government division as well as commercial division. I led a team of growing a company from 300 employees all the way to over 500 employees. I made the company a lot of money, y'all. I'm talking about millions. Okay. And it was a journey for me. I was so gung ho on this title, president, executive managing director. I was that. I was that girl. You couldn't tell me nothing. And so I say all to say that during that season of my life as the corporate leader, the corporate woman, I was dealing with burnout. I started dealing with burnout. How many of you guys have ever dealt with the burnout? Like, seriously, I'm talking about severe burnout. If you have, put that in the chat. Burnout is real. My burnout moment was me working 16-hour days, and I'm salary, right? I'm salary. Uh, I was getting paid. Oh, I don't want to say it out loud, but let's just say it was six figures, and it was yeah, it was over there. It was up there. And I remember, what's up, Q? How you doing, love? Thank you for supporting. But I remember at the height of my career, the burnout started creeping in. And I remember, I was I was the only Black woman on the executive leadership team. I would go in a boardroom, I would talk that talk, I would be myself, but I found myself again. I was chasing the title and the money, and I stopped chasing purpose. Stop chasing purpose. That's right, Cece. She said, yes, ma'am, burnt out and left government job because of it. Listen, And I was a government contractor. So just imagine where I was at. I was responsible. I remember when I joined the company, they were around $30 million a year in terms of their evaluation. By the time I was helping them get government contracts for like DOD, Department of State, DHS, all these things, we end up closing out a year at like 72 million. So them giving me what I had on paper, it looked good, but they had it, right? But here's the thing. I started working 16-hour days because work need to be done. And I don't know about you guys, but when you work for a smaller company, you wear many titles. I was the president, HR, the headhunter, the recruiter, the trainer, onboarding specialist, right? Invoicing, business development, going out getting new business. Like I wore so many titles. And I felt like I couldn't show that I needed help. I felt like I couldn't speak up and say, I need help, y'all, because I felt like y'all pay me this high salary that if I say I need help, it's going to show a sign of weakness. And a lot of times, especially our women leaders, we do that. We shrink ourselves, right? That's where that imposter syndrome comes into play. We shrink ourselves based on the titles, the validation. And I felt like because they didn't look like me, they didn't talk like me, I had to go in and prove myself, right? And I put a lot of pressure on myself because here's the thing. Sometimes, let me get some water. Mm. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And that's what I was doing. I didn't have a personal life. Yes, I had a man at the time. I had a fiance. It got to a place where we wasn't even dating like that, and we lived together. And I mean, every time you look, because I had a home office, you like, you working again? Like it'd be 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, y'all, and I'm working these countless hours. I felt like I had to show up. Let me be the first to respond to the email so they know I'm available and accessible. But guess what? On the weekends, when they going fishing and golfing and doing that thing, I'm in the house working my little butt off. Mind you, I'm thinking like, "Ooh, I'm this president and all these things." Yeah, that part, CC. And so I remember, y'all, one night, because I used to take my phone to bed. I'm checking emails, I'm responding. And I remember, like, all of a sudden, just felt like a brick had just, I don't know if you ever guys ever felt this, but like a brick had hit my chest. And I'm just laying in the bed, like for some reason, the body wouldn't get up. My eyes was open, but I couldn't get up. And they're just like, why does I feel like this? Started panicking. And my partner at the time, he was like, you good? Like, he was like, you good? You need to go to the emergency room. I said, I don't know. When it's my chest and my heart, I'm going to the emergency room. So he was like, okay, well, let's go. So got up. I went to the emergency room, urgent care rather. And anytime you mention something about your chest or your heart, right? They take that seriously. So they hooking me up to all the stuff, running blood work. They had the little, what you call that little machine that go across? What's the machine, y'all? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I remember like just sitting in there, it was a waiting game. And y'all know about urgent care, emergency room. It's waiting. You waiting on the results of what's going on. And blood work came back good, lab work came back good, all that stuff came back. And I remember it was like we 3 hours in, and I remember I had a scheduled interview for a candidate. Now, mind you, I'm in the urgent care trying to feel like what's going on with my chest, why my chest tighten up. And I remember, well, my phone's over here on live, but I remember like in the urgent care scrolling, and they say, I'm literally taking a call in urgent care because I didn't want to miss that call. Because again, when you are a recruiter, especially for those who know about the government contractor world, in the cleared world, people who got them top secret clearances, you got to catch them when you can. So I was like, I got to get a hold to this candidate. I'm literally hooked up with the bracelet and I'm on the phone. And I remember my partner, he was like, just shaking his head. He didn't say that. He just got up, walked out because he's like, "Are you serious right now?" Like, yeah, like I'm the head girl in charge. I was about to say something else, but I'm the head girl in charge. And I just remember just laying there and I'm just doo, 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 and I'm talking. And I said, okay, sir, I'm about to send you over a calendar request so you can talk to the hiring manager. I'm scheduling teams through my phone. Matter of fact, I had two cell phones at the time. I had my work phone. So I got the work phone, the personal phone. And the doctor finally comes in and he looking at me. I'm literally the doctor standing there waiting on me like, what's going on? Like, I got other patients to serve. You really gonna do this while I'm on the phone? I finally get off and he said, let me ask you some questions. He said, well, how is your eating habits? How do what are you doing? Are you working out? At that time, I wasn't working out. I didn't have time to work out. He said, how is your eating habits? I said, well, I eat when I can, but when I do eat, I'm door dashing. First of all, if I cooked, I was cooking at that time. We used to have what you call uh, Friday fish fry. Every Friday we would do fish fry. So I would fry some fish, French fries. So just doing me, y'all. And he said, ma'am, he said, we didn't did everything. We didn't ran every test. They even put me through the machine, right? And he said, I had to tell you this, but it's stress. I said, no, sir, you don't understand. I couldn't get up out of my body. This one, the bricks, it was like something was like on like somebody had just hit me in the chest. He said, ma'am, it's stress. I was like, you sure? And he said, yes, it was stress. I'm telling you. He said, what do you do for work? And I'm telling him what I do, bragging about it. And I said, yeah. And I said, I usually work. I said, because I have to serve Hawaii clients too. So I said, I'm usually working about 9, 10 o'clock at night. He said, when do you make time for yourself? I said, well, I go to church when I can on Sundays because at that time I was the vice president of the women's ministry. So I'm doing that, right? Again, another title. And here's the thing, when I was a vice president, I was doing women events at the church pretty much every other month, right? Um, so then I told him that, and then I said, and then he said, what do you do for fun? Like, what is it that you really do? I said, well, I like to chill. At that time, I was in my Ratchet Girl TV era, like watching Ratchet TV at that time in our season. And he's like, okay, well, what about you? I know is that your husband out there that's in that worked out? I said, no, I said that's my fiance. And he said, so do you guys make time? I said, yeah, we do. Now y'all ready for this? Because we used to take a lot of trips and things like that. I said, yeah, we do. I said, this is so embarrassing. I'm telling y'all this. I said, well, like we'll get up sometimes, go to Costco and get stuff for the house. It's so funny. He's just like, ma'am. I said, yeah, we get up, go get stuff for the house, do yard work. Like, but other than that, I have to work. That's all I kept telling myself. And so I said to say, it was so funny because he said, ma'am, you need to take time off. I said, I can't. He said, okay, well, if you don't take time off, you're going to kill yourself. Stress can kill you. Like, what? Like, I'm superwoman. Like, I don't know about y'all, but how many of you guys ever felt like you're superwoman? Like, you got to conquer the world. You got to do everything. Like, I used to be the hostess with the mostest. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, like I will cook for the whole neighborhood. But my family knew that we're going to Trust's house, right? I'm doing the stuff at the church. I'm doing the stuff at the job. And it wasn't making time for me. And the people around me that mattered. Wasn't. Burnt the hell out. And it got to a place where I remember the end of, let's see, let me get you the dates correctly. Let me give you the date. 2021. I remember my CEO, he gave me a $25,000 bonus. And just in my goal, I had a revenue goal. Like, mind you, I'm leading the team. And I had a goal. He only wanted me to bring in 300,000 of just my department of new money because we're a small team. And he just said, you go out there and get contracts, but I want you to bring in money too. He said, just 300,000. Well, y'all, at the end of 2021, I brought in just me with establishing relationships with these recruiting contracts I had. I brought in to the company 1.2 million. Reality check. The math ain't mathing. The math went mathing. I said, no wonder you give me a $25,000 bonus. I would give myself two and more. And so he said, no, you did good. And he looked me. I remember because he's in Oregon and he looked me in the mirror and on the Zoom. He looked me just like this, y'all. He said, for 2022, I want you to double that. Now, mind you, my quota was 300,000, plus I'm running a team of internal recruiters. He didn't say double to 300, double to 1.2. So now you got more pressure on me. Oh, and I just came from the emergency room just like a few weeks ago. Like, what the hell? What we doing? And he said, no, I want you to double that. You got it. Like when I say he zoomed in and all I saw was his eyeballs, like, oh, snap. Like, oh gosh. And I'm like, man, I don't have no help. You know how an organizational structure is. I'm the president. There's no vice president. There's no senior manager. Then it's worker bees. And I say worker bees respectfully, you know what I meant, but recruiters, my HR folks, like me as the head and no middleman in between. And I didn't want to ask for it. Like, can I promote somebody? I need help. What was afraid to say it. And so I remember going into 2022, y'all, and this 2022 year, I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. This 2022 year, like, I was like, man, I gotta make a change. I have to make a change. I didn't know what the change was like because here's the thing. Again, I've been so held on this high regard just in the organizations I've been, family, like people always saw trust as this. But guess what? I too fall short. I too make mistakes. There are days where sometimes I could suffer in silence. And so I said, I got to make a change. I remember praying, God, what? I don't know. Right now, my significant other time, mind you, we looking at the number on paper. And I told him, I said, well, I just had a reality check. The CFO had reached out to me and he said, do you know how many hours you worked in 2021? Now, y'all know if y'all do the math, right? If you are a full-time employee and you're working 40 hours a week plus your holidays, that's 2080. That's 2080 hours. Without the 10 hours, without the 10 federal holidays, it's 2000 hours. So if you work every single day, just Monday through Friday, 40 hours, do the math, it is 2080. That's a typical when you do the timesheet and then people adding your hours. Well, you ready for this? That 2080, I had 3,996 hours clocked in for 2021, and I didn't even get paid overtime. I was a salary employee, and y'all know salary is don't let me talk about salary employee, but y'all know where I'm going with this. That part, CC. That was my justification right there to take and say, hey, y'all see this? I'm doing a two-person job. Can I hire somebody else? I just brought enough money to took care of our whole salary team, the team salary on my team. That wasn't a flex, y'all. That wasn't a flex. That $200,000 salary went and bonuses went half. They could imagine that. That wasn't a flex. Reality. We in 2022. Changes got to be made. Changes got to be made. So now I like, okay, I got to do this. My partner, he like, man, you making all this money? No, the hell I'm not. Do the math. Mind you, I wasn't even operating my purpose. I lost my why. How many of you guys have lost your why throughout your journey of your career, your relationship? I lost my why. I forgot what I was supposed to be doing while I'm here on this earth. What's the purpose? I lost myself. And here's the thing, during that time of me stressed out, I self-medicated myself. I was probably drinking a bottle of wine every day in the evening time just to cope because I was stressed. I was agitated, frustrated, irritated, and aggravated. Stressed. I got to make a change. Thank God I had saved up enough that when I made the leap to go into entrepreneurship, that if I didn't work for a year, I could do it. Plus, I had somebody else that was helping me with the bills. We were kind of like splitting things down the middle. So we both were in a comfortable situation. So it wasn't a lot of stress on me. Just saying. I said, okay, I'm going to have to make this bold move. Because here's the thing about a bold move. We don't know what the next looks like. Some of y'all right now have been torn and pulled with the idea of launching something, with starting over, with trying to do something, navigating something new. But for whatever reason, the comfortability of staying put where you at, maybe it's in your hometown, maybe it's in a relationship or friendship, maybe it's at a job. You comfortable, so that what's next, that fear, and that's what I was doing. I was operating in fear over faith. I'm a God-fearing woman and I pray daily. So how am I operating in fear over faith? So I said, I got to do it. Doctor said stress can kill. I got to do it. We got enough money in the bank. Okay. You good? He was like, well, if that's what you want to do. And here's the thing. I said, I think I'm going to start my podcast. 2022. I'm going to start my podcast. It's going to be called Empower to Elevate for Entrepreneurs. Guess God had a different plan, because that's what I was going to do. But I kept hesitating. You know, like double dutch. Y'all know like double dutch. Now I'm telling, see, y'all, I don't know who remember double dutch. Nowadays, you know, the kids these days, they ain't outside doing double dutch. They too busy with the video games and TikToking. But double dutch, right? What do you do when you get ready to go double dutch? Let me take. What do you? No, let me put my shoes back on. I'm short. Right? You're like this. You prepping before you jump, because you know they doing the ropes like this. So you got to strategically look at both ropes to see when it's going to be the perfect timing. Let me say that again. Perfect timing before you jump, before you go all in. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing when it was time for me to make a leap of faith. And when it was time for me to go into this entrepreneurship journey, where I know I had been called to do, to speak and all these things, I was double. No, what? Okay, somebody's car is going off. But I was like this. Ooh, I'm not ready yet. Ooh, I'm not ready yet. No, okay, I'm about to go. I'm about to jump. I'm about to leap. No, I'm not ready yet. Now we got May. We on May 2022. My birthday is coming up. How old was I? Oh my God. I was turning 44 at that time. 4-4. And I was like, you know what? Let me take some PTO. I had over 300 hours. I took 2 weeks off, y'all. The 2 weeks off, I said, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. And here's the thing. You ready for this? I went to the beach. I tried, because water is life. Water is peace. And for those who know me, I love water. Water is my serenity. Whenever I want to get away, I will go to a beach. Now, here's the thing. I took 2 weeks off and still took my laptop with me. I said, I'm going to take 80 hours off. But guess what? I didn't take 80 hours off, because 30 of them hours were me checking calls and meetings and things. And don't think I didn't take it away from I'll put that on my timesheet. So I said to say, it was like, when was my time? When was my time? And I remember, okay, I'm just going to do it. And I remember typing up the email. I said, oh, I hit send. I was like, oh God, I just did it. What's crazy is, y'all, who gives, matter of fact, no, this was the 1st of May. Who gives a 60-day notice? That's how I just wanted them to show them. I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging. I'm gonna give y'all a 60-day notice. Now, y'all know most of y'all give a 2 weeks notice, say deuces. Deuces. No, I'm gonna backfill my position. I'm gonna find the next person. And I remember my CEO, he said, find a trusted 2.0. What? A trusted 2.0. Find somebody to do what you do. Okay. I'm interviewing day after day after day after day after. When I told candidates what the hell I did, guess what? Nobody wanted my job. They said, you what? You managing a team? You responsible for bringing in new business? You recruiting, HR, invoicing? You have to. They like, nah, I'm gonna need more than that. What you make, like, it was crazy. Matter of fact, they wanted to backfill my position with less pay. It's like, well, find somebody around the 140, 150. Like, what? What I do? That ain't happening. My time is approaching. It's about time for me to leave. And during that time, my grandmother had passed away. She was about 90 years old. We knew it was coming. She was an older lady. And so I went through that and whatnot. But when it was time for me to leave, right before I left, you ready for this? This is how God will work. Sometimes God will have to shake some things up and unravel some things. And so, right before I got ready to leave, they had made a big announcement that my department that they had structured was pretty much being dissolved, and they were putting pretty much because they couldn't find another me. They had my whole team, because mind you, I was over talent acquisition. They had all my team going under HR in the back office. And so it was now shared services, like hey, you a back office function, no longer quota driven and things like that. They shook it up. So left the job. And then as soon as I left, I said, well, God, what's my next move? So I had to be committed to letting go of the thing that was holding me, but was burning me out because I was so busy chasing. I was chasing paper and not purpose. Do you hear what I'm saying? Then about July, my favorite uncle. Oh no, how many of y'all got a favorite uncle? I had a favorite uncle. Like he said, first of all, don't call me uncle. I'm still young. Don't call me, he's so funny. Shout out to Garnett Woods, but he passed away in his sleep unexpectedly. This was right after I had quit. Right after I quit. Now it shook my life. I said, "What in the world? This man go to the gym. He's fit." To my knowledge, that's why it's so important to check on your peoples. You just never know who may be going through something. Here's the thing: I always knew he was fit, but come find out just going through some things that he had been sick like a previous year, and he never told anybody. Never told anybody. That's why I encourage you right now. Check on your peoples. Just check on people that you ain't heard from because people suffer in silence. And so during that time, I'm now the 100% entrepreneur building. I'm building. Call me Build a Bear. We build over here. And I'm putting myself out there. And here's the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm recruiting. I'm a headhunter. I'm still doing what I do. Is I'll just do it for myself. At that time, that's what I was doing. And I sell to say, here we are. And my partner, he said, so you leave work to work this many hours as doing your stuff for your own self. I'm like, look, now I'm getting like defending myself. Look, as an entrepreneur, you got to work all these hours. So listen, nothing had wouldn't. The only thing had changed was who my employer was. I'm working for myself, but I'm working the same amount of hours. Like, okay, well, if we take this trip, don't take your laptop. No, I need my laptop because if new clients come in, I need this, right? Crazy. It was crazy. So going into 2022, here I am. I'm like, I'm gonna do this podcast, Power to Elevate. I'm gonna do this recruiting. I'm gonna do the coaching. I'm gonna help coach others. I'm gonna speak like all over the place. November, I was like, okay, I gotta figure out a strategy. I gotta figure out a plan because now I'm stretched. I'm stretched thin. I'm not really having a life. I need to do better. I got comfortable. Even my relationship, I got comfortable. I knew he wasn't going nowhere, and so I was. Neither was I. We just there, right? Remote, comfortable. And November, no matter of fact, November the 7th, like any other day, I'm in my room working. Look, working hard for the money, building the stuff up. I'm sending out proposals and things like that. And then at nighttime, he was like, coming up. He's like, what time you going to bed? It was 11:30. I was like, I'm going to bed soon. Why? Like, I'm like, why? You know this is what I do. He said, okay, well, I'm going to bed. It's 11:30. I told you, trust. I think we need to be in the bed early. It messes with your health when you try to lose weight. That cortisol creeping in. I said, okay, I'm coming. Give me about another hour and a half. No, I take that back. It was about 11 o'clock. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, and I'm not gonna go into much detail about it, but probably like around 11:30 ish. He was like, "Hey, you got a second?" like normal, like nothing. Like, you got a second? I said, okay, yeah, what's going on? And of course, I go into the other room and he just standing there. He said, well, I want to tell you something. I was like, okay, well, let's sit down and talk. Why you standing in the doorway? And then at that moment, with probably wasn't even a good 2 seconds, he collapsed right in front of me. Right in front of me. Just so I don't know what he wanted to tell me or was trying to tell me, because he showed no signs that he was in pain or struggling with his heart or anything like that. Just collapsed. And even at that moment, of course, the responders came out and worked on him and did what they did. And at November the 8th, and I know this for a fact because those who know I'm a number person. But November the 8th at 12:25 a.m. 1225. I remember that because it's like Christmas, 12:25. But at 12:25 a.m., they came downstairs and they had brought a chaplain in. They said, "Man, he didn't make it." I was in denial. I was like, "What?" Um, I wouldn't have been able to share the story to you guys how I'm doing it now in chunks and pieces 2-3 years ago without me being emotional, because I wasn't healed. I hadn't went through my healing process. I could talk about it now more of a place of I'm just sharing the journey. I'm just sharing the story. I'm sharing for those who don't know me why I go hard the way I go hard today. Um and imagine being with someone. Then we was 4.5 years, but engaged, and you got to plan a funeral. I'm planning a funeral, planning some things, with the help of his, adult kids. But just imagine doing it, doing the obituary. Like, it was a lot on me. And I look back at it and I was like, man, you don't know the plans. You don't know how things come into play. We navigate this life, setbacks, grief, burnout. I navigated all these things, right? And I was just like, what's my next move? Like, I was numb. And even in that fall, because one of the things we talk about is the fall. It tried to break me, because I could have sat in I could be sitting here now in a season of depression and anxiety. And I did go through that right away. But I also got therapy right away, like weekly therapy. Went through therapy for 10 months. I encourage anybody, listen, therapy is necessary. If you can afford it, if you have insurance, therapy is necessary. And you don't have to go through grief to get a therapist. There could be some things going on right now. You just like, I just need to talk to somebody. Because here's the thing, everybody, your friends and stuff ain't no therapist. Sometimes we go confide in people. Hmm. Maybe sometimes you need to talk to somebody that is on the outside. And that's what I did. Like, I went through that. I went through a season. I am now course correcting myself now, because I used to say I was in a season of isolation. I was in a season of isolation. I wasn't in isolation season. It was just a separation season, because at the end of the day, God was still with me. What it taught me was, number one, life is not promised. Like, we don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know what tomorrow brings. That's why when you hear me in my messaging, when I talk about it in my podcast, when I close out, life is a journey. Life is priceless. And to some, life is short. Because here's the thing. That man went out today, rode his motorcycle, came back, ate a salad, went upstairs, said, I'm going to bed. Didn't see. So on November the 8th, y'all know 8 is new beginnings. Even though it was the end of something for me, it was my new beginning of starting over. I didn't know how I was going to navigate, but I know I got a plan. And this is the reason why I have vision boards, because my vision is always bigger than my reality. I want to encourage you that when you have a vision, write it down. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. You have to visualize your success. I always knew that I was going to start a podcast. I always knew that I was going to be a successful speaker and a coach, and I was going to, start this new brand, this coaching and consulting. I always knew somehow, some way that I'll be shifting away from my corporate lifestyle to coming back now and teaching people and encouraging people the burnt out professional, the burnt out leader, the purpose driven entrepreneur, that if I can go through and get through and grow through it, so can you. Yeah. And I remember my bold move moment was, I said, I can't live in this house no more. The bold move was, God said, you need to step out your zip code. You looking in 10-mile radius. No, that energy in that town don't serve you no more. You have to take a bold move. Sometimes a bold move is like just leaving a job. Like I said earlier, I had to leave the state. And yes, it was the neighboring state, crossing a bridge over, but it was new for me. A new start. I ain't know my way around here and I'm still navigating it, but still I had to like, I was like, I gotta start over. And starting over is scary, y'all. Starting over is scary. Imagine, you know, you have a successful, business, and then once I was a headhunter on my own, I was successful. But now you starting over here, you starting over from your brand. This is what I did. Starting over with relationships, friendships, just a new surrounding, new environment. Sometimes you need a new environment in order for you to go to that next level. And so I say all to say that I remember into 2023. I'm in a new state, I'm in Maryland, and so I'm here. What's next? I had to let go of my mindset. I used to think, why me? I was always, why me? Why I got to go through this? Why? I didn't want to continue to live the life of a victim I wanted to be more of a victor. I wanted to walk in the season and say, you know what? God, just show me how. Show me how I navigate this thing. Show me how I can align my, you know, passion with the purpose that you have for me. I always say PPP, passion plus purpose equals prosperity. Show me how that what I need to do. And so I say all to say, I don't want to be cognizant of y'all's time. But I say all to say, we may have to do a part two, because like I said, this was new for me to be on live. Thank y'all TikTok for staying here. But I had to let go of that. What I went through only served as fuel for me to continue to go, continue to grow, continue to be the woman I'm being called to today, the evolving woman. Like I said, I'm still growing. I always say strive for growth over perfection. That season of grief, that season of burnout, it felt like two trains had like clashed, like bam. And I said, you know what, Trusted, you got to get your life together. You got to get your life together. 2023, I said, okay, I was like, let me do something for myself. Now, mind you, I'm about to be 45. Let me go and do something for myself. I went and got a photo shoot done. I said, let me do the photo shoot. And here's the thing, too. I do encourage people to do photo shoots and stuff because it does enhance and help build your confidence. I'm gonna show y'all a picture real quick because I was like, y'all ain't gonna believe this. But I was cute and stuff. But when I look at this woman now, behind the makeup, behind the eyes, y'all, I was depressed. Let me show y'all this picture. Y'all see that? That was me going into pretty much my 45th year. That was 2023. I don't like y'all don't know. Here's the thing. When I see this picture, I recognize it, but I don't, because I know what mindset when I was there, right? Um, and I looked at it, and honestly, it did was serve as fuel for me to say, you got to get it together. Like for real, for real. And I said to myself, I remember, here's another one. Y'all, I'm smiling. Y'all see that? I'm smiling like, who? I got the weave and the side part. Yes. But I didn't even like how I looked. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like how I looked. I was carrying dead weight. That was another thing I had to let go. I had to let go of some dead weight. I had to shed. Because here's the thing, I don't care how much makeup you put on, the lashes, the weave, or whatever you do to mask, you can't hide what's internally inside of you. Inside of me, I still needed more work to do. I needed more therapy to do. I had more things to do. And I said, wow, Like, I'm looking at myself and I'm just like, I don't recognize her now. Like, y'all. So I said, I got to work on me. Like, literally, I said, I have to work on me. And I'm going to show y'all. Y'all ready for this? So, real quick, and I won't give me like 15 more minutes, and I promise I'm going to let y'all go. Um, I had to, it's a couple things that I did. Oh, gosh, it makes me emotional just looking at it. When I turned 40, right before I turned 45 of 2023, I don't have a copy of it here. I have a book I wrote in 2017. Technically, I don't promote it no more because it was just it was it's about my life, but it was a whole different chapter in my life. But it was titled "I Found Strength in My Struggles," and I remember going through that book, just looking. I'm like, I know I need to write another book. I know I need to do something next. I don't know what's next. But what's crazy is, and it's on Amazon if you go look it up. I found strength in my struggles. Chapter 7 or chapter 8 is either 7 or 8. I can't remember which one. It's titled "Convicted to Grow." I didn't think anything about it. I was just kind of looking through the book and everything like that. The next day, I had a one-on-one time with God. I was like crying. I said, God, I'm about to be 45. I don't know what's next. Like, I can't do this no more. Like, I'm tired of just going through these emotions. Because here's the thing: grief is real. Burnout is real. Like, I got these. I don't know. Therapy is helping, but when she ain't around, I got to go through 6 days of just trying to figure this thing out. And I remember the next day I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying out loud to God because sometimes I got to be out loud so He can hear me. And I remember saying out loud, I said, God, if you allow me to see 45, I was like 10 days shy from my birthday. If you allow me to see 45, I promise you I'll be convicted to growing, convicted to changing, and convicted to being a better version of myself as I continue, as I work on being a best version of myself. I just said it out loud. And it was like ding, 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 ding. Convicted to grow. I said, ooh. So here we are. So the convicted to grow, I've had to grow. Y'all ready for this? I'm gonna show y'all something. Mind you, I said empowered to elevate. God didn't, it was not the thing. So once I did convicted to grow, I remember that within a month, I'm getting excited. I thought, oh, I'm gonna write a book. 2023. Y'all catch this. I'm going to have to go somewhere with this. 2023. I said, oh, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. All right, y'all still there? Hold on. Oops. I'm sorry, TikTok. I think when I do these lives, I'm just gonna stay over here on YouTube because trying to juggle both. So let me tell you what I did. Right after I said and got the revelation, I'm gonna write a book. Now y'all see my big girl pictures. So I had this cover drafted up. Look at this. This was supposed to be a workbook, right? Really, truly, in 2023. Y'all see it. It's a different person. That's me in my same shirt. 2023. I said, oh, I'm gonna write this book. I'm like 5 powerful steps to pivot and just rediscover yourself after a setback. Had it already ready. God said, nope, you ain't even ready. I was convicted, y'all. He said, you ain't even ready. I gave you the vision, I gave you the idea, but you still got to put some work in. See, here's the thing. I want to go somewhere with this because sometimes some of us we want the nail, we want the promise, we want to get there so fast that we don't want to embrace the process. We don't want to go through the steps that we need to do to go to the next level. He said, no, that ain't it, boo. That ain't it. Maybe pivot, come back later, but that ain't it. It was gonna be a workbook. I need to work on myself. I needed to work on myself. So over the course of the time, I did the work. I had to rebuild. After the fall, I had to rebuild the daily reps, the prayer, the meditation, being in a community. Community helped me. Community helped me get around like-minded people that hold me accountable, that pour back into me, that was able to say, you know what, Tressa, I believe in you. Even when I didn't believe in myself sometimes. Because here's the thing, self-doubt will creep into your mind. The enemy was the inner me. I could be the most positive person in the world, but if I got the self-doubt, that's a negative thought. I can't do that. I'm not able to do that. They're going to see grief over my forehead. They're going to see depression over my forehead. I can't do that. So I had to put work in. I had to be connected with like-minded people. These last 2.5 years, y'all, I've met some dope people, some amazing people that have came into my life. Here's the thing, a reason and a season. I don't even say lifetime. You know what I say? People come in your life for a reason and a season and a lifetime. I don't like to say lifetime no more because here's the thing, life has an expiration date. Reason and a season. And sometimes you will outgrow people. And it's okay to outgrow people. Sometimes some people are just meant to come into a season of your life to distract you or to empower you to get you to where you need to be. So in these last 2 years, y'all, I've been working on me, the fall, the rebuild. And then I had to rise again. My rise was like, okay, now you got to create these daily habits. What is that going to look like? Because here's the thing, I fell again, even when it came to my looking at my weight. Mind you, this is this year. I went and I had to let go of that weight. I said, in order for me to be the best version, I also got to make sure that my health is good. I also got to make sure that my mental, my emotional, my physical, I can't be on stage looking like what I look like on January on the left side. Y'all see, I don't like that girl. I can't be I got to be the product of the product and say, yes, I'm convicted to growing. That's what I said. And here we are, May 30th. And so I just want to say I thank y'all because now that I'm convicted to growing, I'm committed to growing. The commitment to saying, you know what, growth is a daily thing. The commitment saying I can't give up on my purpose. I can't give up on my why. My vision is bigger than my zip code. There's a world that don't even know me that's waiting for me to pour into them, to give them what God has blessed and poured inside of me. Stop cheating on your gift. We're all gifted and talented. Some of us have 5 gifts. Some of us has 3 gifts. Some of us have one amazing gift. Whatever your gifts are, don't cheat on it. Tomorrow is not promised. And if you're around people that make you feel good, that embrace you, that support you, tell them you love them. I lost 3 key people, y'all, in 2022. And here's the thing, had I not gone through what I went through, me and you would not be talking today. There wouldn't be no convicted to grow. I know for a fact it wouldn't have been no convicted to grow, but I had to bet on myself. And so betting on myself said it's time to let go. It's time to let go of those layers, feeling guilty, feeling shame of your story, feeling like you lost yourself. I had to free myself I had to free myself from that of me losing myself. I had to free myself from unwanted thoughts. And here we are on May 30th. And because you guys are here today, thank you, Bella, for coming over from TikTok. I appreciate you, boo. Today, y'all, and it's going to be publicly announced tomorrow, but today, y'all, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I had to let go publicly. This is my public announcement to the podcast. But again, it's going to be birthed tomorrow for the pre-orders. Is that here we are. It wasn't ready 3 years ago. It wasn't ready 2 years ago. Y'all saw how I was going to do something back in 2023. Y'all saw that cover. Nothing wrong with the cover, but this, I didn't need to be on the face because you're convicted to grow. Everybody needs to grow. Everybody needs to grow. Here we are. Rebuild your confidence and rise stronger. Shout out to those there are some people that's in my life. I don't have a lot of people in my circle, but there are some people in my life that I trust their feedback and things like that. And I say, hey, what do you think? What do you think? So shout out to those who've been a part of just my journey, y'all. Like, I'm building over here. And so listen, if you want to be a part, right? You can go directly and pre-order. I'm in this challenge called Delusional Ask. And so my delusional moment is saying, you know what I never done was like, I want to sell 500 copies like in my first 60 days, 60 to 90 days. I would love to have 100 copies pre-ordered before the release date. The release date is 6/25/25. I chose 25/25 because the podcast, the 24/24. So that you have it. And I wanted to make sure that I market this thing correctly and really put it out there. It took me 2.5 years to do it, but I'm here. So You can go directly to the shop. Matter of fact, let me put this up, bro. Let me put this up. Let me put this up. So if you go to convictedtogrow.com, it gives you more about what the book is about, what you get. If you pre-order this book, a couple things you're gonna get. You're gonna get Monday. Everybody's gonna get a digital the access for the first 3 chapters that nobody else has. Not only that, you'll get your book a week early before the actual release date on Amazon. Amazon's gonna be the 25th. And here's another thing: you also going to get a signed copy, officially signed copy from me. Now I won't make it out to your name because I don't know if you're getting it for a gift or somebody. So I got to figure that out. But if you would like to be a part of this movement, my journey as I'm building, I really, really appreciate it. Again, go to convictedtogrow.com. That's convictedtogrow.com is on the thing. You can go directly to the shop, but if you go to convictedtogrow.com, it gives you a little bit more insight about the book. It gives you more insight of the different parts. Because here's the thing about this book that makes it different. It's not. It is a personal. I give personal stories of kind of snippet what I just went through with you guys, and it's only from these last 3 years of me rebuilding again and to rise, and then the commitment. It also have reflection prompts in there, as well as it's kind of like you're getting coached along the way to make you think, to make you reflect and say, if she can do it, so can I. If you tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired of shrinking, if you say, you know what, I lost myself, I've been burnt out, I'm trying to navigate this career transition, this pivot, this book is for you. If you just want to support and just say, listen, I've been rocking with your journey, we building $1 million brand over here, I appreciate it. Gift it to somebody. Gift it to somebody you know that can use it. So again, listen, you can go directly. And here's another thing that I have, because I'm only doing this for a limited time. For my birthday, we're doing the birthday. Let me put this back down. So we're doing the birthday bundle because again, it's my birthday and chapter 47, right? So there you go. And everything is free shipping. So I wanted to make it, easy for you guys so you don't have to worry about all these extra fees. You go in, pick the color of your shirt, pick the size. Again, it's a movement. I want you to feel like that when you wear that shirt, that you're reminded that when you're convicted to knowing better, you do better. It's a movement. It's more than a brand. And so some of you guys have been with me since day one. If you guys have been with me since day one in the chat, or been a part of this journey, or know me enough to know, put some green hearts in the chat. I do appreciate y'all, because y'all do rock with me. And so I would have met some of you guys through communities. So I really, 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 really appreciate it. You already got one here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is growing. They better give it. Yes. And here's the thing. I also have a Convicted to Grow community. So if you would like to be a part of the CTG community, you can join the community as well. It's amazing. Every Tuesday I do a Coach Power Hour Tuesdays where people get to pick my brain. It's like I'm coaching you strategy, group coaching, we're building. And here's the thing, it ain't just for women. Yes, I have a confident woman challenge going on or about to start, but we also build over here. So, because here's the thing, everybody need confidence. And honestly, what they say, where the focus go, the energy flow, you got to get around some like-minded people. Get around some people that you are attracted to, that energy. Like, yes, yes, girl. Okay. But yeah. So again, let me put this back up. That's directly to the shop. But I really, really appreciate it. And here's the thing: pre-orders. I need your pre-order before June 10th. Because I want to make sure I'm committed to excellence and getting you what you need, even include my packaging and things like that. I need it by June the 10th because I have dates and I have deadlines. Because otherwise, you're gonna be talking about me, be like, oh my gosh, I ain't get it yet. No. So don't wait to the last minute. Okay. Um, I need the pre-orders. And like I said, if you pre-order this weekend, you will get, go look into the it'll tell you what all you get. You'll also get a digital what else I was gonna say? Some confidence affirmations in there. But I'm excited. Be prepared to be sick of me, because what I'm not gonna do is write a book and you here for 2 weeks. No, I gotta, this is part of the journey. This is part of the brand. This is part of me, even with speaking, workshops, and things like that. So Again, please, please, please. I appreciate y'all in advance. I thank y'all for real. And once you get it, like, man, tell somebody about it. Like, I ain't gonna forget y'all. I ain't gonna forget the ones who was a part of this journey when I didn't. Oh, thank y'all for the green hearts. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, y'all so sweet. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Miss Felicia. Appreciate you, love. Thank you, Miss CC. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Quincy. Who else we got? I appreciate y'all. And those on TikTok, yes, I'm going live on TikTok. Let me see what I got to do today. I'm probably going to do, I know I'm going to do tomorrow, probably noon for TikTok, but I may do a live to this evening, like around 6 to 7. I can't be with y'all long, but so yeah. Order complete. Oh my God, y'all are so sweet. So y'all getting firsthand on this. I'm going to release it to the world officially tomorrow on Instagram and things like that. So, hey, thank you. Like they say, look, clock that T. Thank you. Oh my God. If it's anything I said before we head out that has resonated with y'all, let me know in the chat. Like, I really, really, really appreciate y'all. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Be honest. Be honest. For these episodes, do y'all think I should start doing lives more? Because here's the thing. Once I'm done, I'm done. I'm not editing this thing. Like, I will say this, it took a lot of stress off, even though I was nervous because to record and upload and edit, and you got to listen to the whole podcast and catch things. It's like just be raw with it. Be what I say, CC. Be real, be raw, be what? Ooh, I had some R's. Be real, be raw, be resilient, and be results driven. Yes, art complete. Thank y'all for real, for real. Oh, thank you, Bella. Yes, I appreciate y'all. I really, really, really do. And so, listen, I'm about to close out, but as I always say, and guess what? For people who will catch this on a replay, make sure you do hashtag replay in the comments when you see this later on at your convenience. But listen, life is a journey. To some, life is short, but life is also priceless. While you here on God's green earth, you recognize who you are. You step into your potential. Yes, you are convicted to grow because when you grow, all it's doing is propelling you to your next level destination. You are destined for greatness. You are beautiful. You are healthy. You are healed. You got what it takes to win, but you got to believe that you have what it takes to win. Get connected and surrounded with the right people, with the right energy for this right now season. Because at the end of the day, if you want to thrive in 2025, you got to bet on yourself. Stop second guessing who you are. Stop cheating on your gifts. Because the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, hey, is yet to come. With that being said, thank y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share. But definitely give me thumbs up on this episode. I appreciate y'all. Love you. Mwah.